Most people are very critical of the news, but the latest attack by Iran on Israel, I don't know. I mean, how many of you out there are like me? Is like, why do people believe what they're being told? Or am I just crazy? Am I just insane? Am I the one that doesn't get it? So let's just go with some of the facts that we know about, right? So Israel kills some generals that are in the embassy consulate in Syria of Iran, and Iran says we're now going to have to respond in a real way. So they tell the Americans, I think almost up to a week beforehand or whatever, days beforehand, that we are going to attack Israel. And then a few hours before the attack, Iran tells Israel, we have just launched a massive drone attack against you. They'll get there in a couple of hours, right? So like, can you imagine if you really wanted to hit somebody? Would you be like, listen, I'm going to hit you in 20 seconds, okay? 20 seconds, I'm going to hit you. Okay, the punch is coming. 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Why would Iran tell Israel it's going to attack? So, okay, let's just believe what's said in the press, right? That Iran really wanted to, teach Israel a lesson, to get tit for tat back for the attack of the generals in the Syria, in their consulate, whatever. So they send the swarm of 300 drones and rockets and whatever from various directions, to attack Israel. And so now they're like, oh yeah, we're really going to teach them a lesson, right? So then 2 hours later, nothing destroys, none of the drones destroy anything, right? And then the Iranians say, well, this concludes our attack. There'll be no more attacks unless, you do something to provoke it. So see you later, right? It's like, if they had really tried to attack, wouldn't they say, well, a second swarm is coming now, or that was just a warm up, or, you've been warned and you better, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would they say, oh, well, that concludes the attack? That did nothing, unless they never meant it to do anything in the first place, right? I mean, why wouldn't it be more reasonable to assume that all three of them, the United States, Iran, Israel, that they all negotiated behind closed doors and decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little theater. Iran, you're going to attack Israel, and then Israel's going to shoot down all these drones that you attack with, and then we're going to rattle our saber and say, we're going to attack you, or we're going to respond, even though you did nothing. And Iran, you're going to say, well, we taught you a lesson. I mean, so what does everybody get out of it? Why does the press, like almost all of it that I read, stick to this narrative that Iran really tried to, hurt Israel? I just don't see it. I mean, if you're going to hurt somebody, why would you tell them beforehand? And then when it fails, why would you almost like proudly say, well, we showed you? I mean, come on. I mean, it's like theater. It's like funny. But it's like, I just like, do Americans read these papers and do they not connect all these dots? And then for people like me that do follow it, in 2019, Iran attacked, I think it's an oil refinery thing in Saudi Arabia, took out 5% of their refining capacity or whatever. And people marveled at how well the attack was. Like pinpoint on each oil tank, whatever, there's like a pinpoint hole from the drone, and they hit exactly the right pieces of equipment to bring this whole area down in its whatever it did, right? So 2019, the world basically, if you follow this, and you can go back and read about it, military experts are like, whoa, Iran has some serious capabilities to launch this kind of precise strike. So he's saying a country that 5 years ago had this ability now could not literally shoot what's a name for it, like an elephant with a spitball, from 5 feet away. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't believe Iran ever meant to hit anything in Israel. I wouldn't be surprised if none of the drones had warheads. But let's just say for the sake of argument that Iran was like, we're just going to prank them. We're just going to do this launch of 300 old drones, and we're not going to put anything into them. Now, if Israel just let them fly overhead, then Israel would have to admit to being pranked, to being suckered into this fake attack, right? So they have to shoot some of them down, right? Now they're wasting like expensive missiles to shoot down these old freaking drones. I think that's what happened. And that's why you don't see a lot of these things, because Israel sort of knew that it wasn't a real attack, and they didn't want to waste the missiles, but they had to do some missiles because otherwise they'd look ridiculous. So again, it was just all theater, and I think that all the people behind the scenes are laughing about it, or they got something out of it and they're very happy, and the public just buys it hook, line, and sinker. So anyway, I felt I had to do, somebody has to do a video, because I haven't seen that on YouTube, that points out these glaring inconsistencies in this story. Unbelievable. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.